In our previous class, we have studied about the nervous coordination. How receptors, they receive the stimuli from the surrounding. Then this stimuli, this is transported to the neuron. Then it is transported in the form of a nerve impulse. This nerve impulse is carried to the central nervous system. In central nervous system, this is processed, and then by the motor nerve, the message from the CNS, it reaches to the muscles and action is carried out in the body. So we are having very efficient nervous coordination in the body. But still, there are certain limitations with this nervous coordination. Number one, we know that nerve impulse is generated and transmitted in the nerve cell. So to transmit and generate another nerve impulse, it has to reset itself. So it needs a fraction of second for this. So continuously, nerve impulse cannot be generated and transmitted in a nerve cell. Second thing, the message through the nerve cell is transmitted or reaching to only that particular part of the body where it is connected. It means throughout the body, same message cannot be transmitted through the nervous coordination. This is the reason that all animals, human, they are having another coordinating system in the body, and that is chemical coordination. Chemical coordination is brought about by chemicals called hormones. These chemicals are known as hormones, and these are secreted by some special glands in the body which are called endocrine glands. I have given you two words here, endocrine and gland. Gland is any globular structure that is secreting certain chemicals. That is a gland. It may secrete mucus, it may secrete HCl, it may secrete enzyme, it may secrete bile. Here it is secreting hormones. Endocrine. Endo. The word endo means inside. These chemicals, these hormones are directly secreted into the blood. That is why these are called endocrine glands. They are directly secreting into the blood. Now, why they are directly secreting into the blood? Because these are not having any duct to transfer their secretion, their chemicals. For example, just look at one gland and look at this gland. This gland is having a duct associated with it. So whatever is secreted will be transmitted through this. But this is not having any duct associated with this. So what would happen now? This will secrete all its secretion into nearby blood vessels. Whatever blood vessel is going here, the chemical will be secreted here. This is the reason that endocrine glands are also called ductless gland. These are called ductless gland because they are not having any duct associated with it. If there are endocrine gland, it means we are having some other type of the glands also which are having the duct. Yes. Such glands are called exocrine gland. So exocrine glands are these, endocrine glands are these. And all enzyme secreting gland, sweat gland, sebaceous gland, mammary glands, all these glands are exocrine gland. There is one possibility also that a gland is having some part, some cells endocrine and some cells exocrine. That is also possible. And such type of the glands are known as mixed glands. Our pancreas is one such mixed gland. But our topic is specifically here is about the endocrine glands. So endocrine glands, they are secreting hormones. Now these hormones, they are having specific characteristics. The first one we have done just now, that these are secreted by the endocrine glands. Second one, directly into blood. Third one, these are always secreted in very small amount. Secreted in small amount. Fourth one, these act on the target site. Their secretion site may be different and the target site may be different. Okay, so hormones act on target site, and how they are reaching the target site? By blood. Reaching by blood. The next point, hormones, they show feedback mechanism. What is feedback mechanism? Hormone or the glands, they can control their level in the body itself. They don't need any external help for that. For example, say if the insulin level is increasing in the blood, then pancreas will sense it, that there is more insulin. So they will start secreting less insulin for that. Similarly, suppose if more thyroxine is secreted by the thyroid gland. So now this thyroxine, this will be received by the pituitary gland. And now pituitary glands, they are getting the message that there is more thyroxine in the body. So they will secrete less TSH in the body. And TSH is thyroxine stimulating hormone. And this TSH is a message for the thyroid gland that you have to secrete the thyroxine or not. So now pituitary gland, they are secreting the less TSH. So when this less TSH is reaching to the thyroid gland, so now the thyroid gland, they are getting the message, okay, this is enough. Now secrete less thyroxine. So this is feedback mechanism. So this is very another important characteristic of the hormones. Now let us study what are the main endocrine glands of the body and where these are situated in the body, and what are the various hormones which are secreted by these